So I don't know if this video is actually going to reach the people that it needs to reach. And to be honest, I don't honestly know if I care. I just wanted to kind of get this out there because it's something that's been bothering me over like the course of the past, I would say probably about a year. So if you guys don't know, last year in 2024, I was a full-time content creator for basically the entire year. I started like going full-time around mid-January 2024 and I stopped mid-November 2024. So almost for the entire year I was a full-time content creator. That is all I did. I sat in these four walls here and I just made content, whether that was streaming, writing, scripting, editing, scheduling uploads, all of that different stuff, everything that goes into content. That's what I did. I did it on stream and I did it on here on YouTube. And I have a channel, the one that you're not watching currently, that did not too bad, not amazing, but not too bad. I was making roughly, I'd say 400 to 500 a month on that channel. My Twitch payouts were anywhere from 120 to 280, depending on what was going on at inside Dead by Daylight at that current time during the month. And then I had, I did merch sales, which usually netted me about $100-ish a month, and I did, of course, there was the direct donations that would vary way more wildly, etc., etc. Basically, between all of my revenues and then odd jobs that I would do on the side, I was basically bringing in like $1,200 a month. So I was a full-time content creator, and so I would get asked, I mean, all the time. When I say all the time, I mean all the time. I would get asked, "Yo, Kaiser, how do I get into it? How do I get started?" And whenever I go and look at a lot of these people who are like complaining, so like I'm on Reddit a lot, which is honestly probably one of the worst pastimes in the world. Reddit is an awful place, but that's where I am, because I don't use Twitter. I refuse to use Twitter. So I doom scroll Reddit, and there's a lot of like small YouTuber, small streamer type of subs that pop up and people asking for advice. And most of the time, like 99% of the time, the problem is that a lot of you just aren't trying. Right? When I say you're not trying, I mean you're not putting like a smidgen of effort into fucking anything regarding your content, and you're just expecting returns. So the main thing with streaming is that you don't grow when you're live, and yet constantly, I see people say, "Oh, I've been going live every day for 5 hours and no one's coming to my stream, bro. I've been doing this for 3 years and I only have 5 viewers, man. This is bullshit. Hey, this is all luck. It's all luck." And I'm gonna tell you, there is some luck involved in being successful with streaming, but it's not the kind of luck you think, right? If you are having trouble, I'm sorry, Baxter, I'm talking and it's apparently making you upset. I love you though. Okay. Streaming doesn't grow. You don't grow while you're live. And this has been the case for a very long time. Since before I built this computer and started streaming myself, you do not grow when you're live, right? That's the first problem. The first problem is you don't, right? Streaming 5 hours every single day, you can do it for 10 years. You're not gonna fucking get anywhere, because there is nothing drawing people to click on your stream, regardless of the game you're playing, regardless of what you're doing on stream, regardless of how entertaining you might be. You might be one of the best live entertainers of our generation, but no one's gonna know because there's no way for them to know, right? But beyond that, most of you are not as good as you think you are at live entertainment. I will sometimes try to give these people a bone, and I'll go in and I'll watch their content and see how they are, and most of their streams are just this. I got a headshot there. Nice. Nobody's chatting. I killed 3. Where's my team? I killed 3. Or on the opposite side, it's this.
God damn these fucking pieces of shit, dude! I fucking hate this game! I hate everybody who fucking plays this game! This is bullshit! I don't have no fucking viewers, I've been busting my fucking ass! Fuck this game, fuck my teammates, fuck all of you, bro! Fuck anybody, bro, cause nobody fucking cares about me, bro! Fuck this!
Neither one of those are entertaining for anybody to watch, right? And as somebody, here's the thing, right? For the second example, it's okay to once in a while fucking lose your goddamn mind, right? Every single streamer, everyone on the platform at some point in time has had a fucking like mental snap and started screaming and yelling. What's not okay is when every single stream of yours is nothing but constant negativity all the fucking time. Nobody wants to watch that. But the first version is the far more common version, right? People just staring at a screen, sometimes not even looking at their camera, just staring at a screen, saying absolutely fuck all for minutes, sometimes even hours on end, and then expecting people to come and watch them. Nobody gives a shit about that. Right? You need to be talking through your decisions, you know, actually talking about what's happening on the screen, reacting to certain things, even doing stuff like telling stories. That's one of my go-to tactics. Whenever there's like a lot of dead air, I'll just like tell a story about something that happened in my life at one point. I'm 31 years old. I've got a lot of shit under my belt, okay? I have a lot of experiences and stories. And that leads me to the second one is you are not making offline content, or at the very least, your offline content is shit, right? It's absolute dog shit. So, again, a lot of times with these small YouTubers and stuff, I'll try to throw them a bone and I'll go in and see if I can figure out what it is they might be doing wrong. And a lot of times their titles are absolute trash. There's no like interesting hook about them. It'll just be like generic Bradley plays Overwatch, and then it's just a raw, uncut Overwatch game that you ripped from your stream with nothing to it. And it's the same, you know, staring at the screen, doing absolutely fuck all type of shit that I was just talking about with your live streams. So your live streams are boring, therefore your YouTube videos are boring. So you're taking the advice of, you know, take your streaming content and turn it into permanent offline content, but you're not realizing what the problem is. In the DBD community, this is like everywhere. Like in the DBD space, specifically Dead by Daylight, I would go in to people, like people would send me like their YouTube channels and be like, yo Kaiser, I'm trying to get like you, bro, which is, you know, an incredibly low bar to set because I'm just a jackass who spouts their opinions on the internet. So be better than me, please aspire to make better content than I do. But people would send me their YouTube videos and be like, look, you know, my goal right now is you. My goal is 6,000 subs and between 1 and 3,000 views a video, but I can't even break 100, and my videos are getting like 30 views a pop. And then I'd go over there and the thumbnail would just be like a random screen grab of the game, right? Like it's just like, you know, when you upload a YouTube video and it gives you like an auto-generated thumbnail that's just a screen cap from the video. So it'll just be like that. And then their title will be something like Survivor Salty at My Nurse. And then I'd go in and it's just them saying nothing, doing nothing, and just playing nurse, and there's nothing there. There's nothing to provide. So this is just like a thing that happens throughout. And even if we take it like away from the gaming spaces, right? Like if you're trying to grow as like a commentary streamer, right? A lot of times you guys are just React Andes. You're just sitting there watching a video for half its runtime before you say anything. You're not commentating on anything. You're not actually giving a real opinion. And then you try to turn that into offline content, and that's just even more boring. The thing that you got to understand is that every like mildly successful creator has some sort of a personality to give. When people watch streamers, they watch them for their personalities, at least most of the time. I have no clue what's going on with XQC, because half of that dude's streams is just an empty chair, but I digress. the point is that most of the time when people watch streamers, when people watch YouTubers, when people watch these people, they're watching for some sort of personality. Anybody can play Dead by Daylight and see what it's like to play Dead by Daylight, but you want people to see what you're like playing Dead by Daylight. What do you bring to Dead by Daylight? And that's one of the things that is kind of upsetting a lot of my general audience. I posted a YouTube short last night where I was like, hey, I'm, you know, not only am I'm taking a break from making DVD content, but I'm you know, I'm doing it with the intent to not make it anymore because I'm kind of sick of the endless loop of the same 10 fucking talking points over and over again. And it's just not fun to make DVD content anymore. It's not fun to talk about. And one person was like, you know, I hope you come back for the anniversary event because I want to see what you think about Springtrap and the anniversary and things like that. And that's because I've given my own personality to the things that I talk about. When I specifically speak about Dead by Daylight, it captured people. Why it captured people, I don't know, because like I said, I'm just a jackass giving my opinions on the internet, but it captured people. And so every time I see, like I said, wrapping all the way back to it, every time I see people talking about, oh man, I don't understand why I'm not growing, I don't understand why people aren't clicking on my YouTube videos, it's because y'all aren't putting God to honest effort into your content. You might be making that content, you might be making a bunch of that content, but you're not putting any effort into what people want to see. You're not putting your personality forward, or you're not fixing your fucking attitude toward what you're doing, and so you're failing. When I first started streaming, I used to get so upset because I would watch my peers, like people who started streaming at the same time of me. One of the men who I consider to be one of my greatest friends, even though we don't talk as much as we used to because life kind of gets in the way, I was so fucking jealous of him because him and I started streaming a month apart. Literally, he started streaming a month after me. We used to collab and hang out and all this stuff, and he grew so much faster than I did. When I say so much faster, I mean within like a month he was affiliate, within the year, like a year and a half, he was partner. And I was still sitting at 3 viewers. And I was jealous of him. I was super fucking jealous of him. And I was upset and I was mad. And a lot of y'all are the same way. Y'all see people who are more successful than you, and you're jealous of them, and then you let that shit bleed into your content. So my streams didn't become fun because I would look at the 3 viewers and I would get pissed off because I don't have what he has. And it honestly, looking back on it, I fucking hate that about myself. That's one of my biggest regrets, because him and I fell out for like a year or so because I acted like a petulant child toward him because of his success, which was absolutely ludicrous the more you think about it, right? And so we reconciled, by the way. We're back to being really good friends. I can message him at any time and be like, yo man, what's up? And we'll talk, and he's there for me if I need him. But the point is that a lot of y'all bring your negative attitude about your lack of growth into your content, and so you do nothing but you bitch and you moan and you whine. And if you're not verbally doing it, you're physically doing it. It's shown in the way that you approach everything. And so yeah, at the end of the day, if you're struggling to grow your content, it is purely because you are not putting effort into being someone people want to watch. You are only putting out content for the sake of putting out content, and you're not putting out content for the sake of trying to get, trying to give people what they want to see. That's the best way to put it. But yeah, that's all I had for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed my little morning ramble. I'm working off of roughly 3 hours of sleep, so I might actually go back to bed because it's just a random Sunday and I've got nothing to do today. So I might actually just crawl back in that bed back there. But yeah, have a good one.